Hello, everybody. Welcome to another MarTEAnis with Eddie. This is MarTEAnis Hour. We're gonna just talk about Salt Lake City, and I have my really good friend Dahlia from Bravo Beach Fest, which I'm so excited because we have so much to talk about. Before we start, make sure that you go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. You're gonna find a lot of videos, and make sure to follow also Dahlia on Twitter at underscore Bravo Beach Fest. And here we are. Dahlia,
Yay!
welcome.
Hi!
Ah,
We got it situated finally.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you excited for Salt Lake City tonight? Tell me about
Oh,
the talk.
is it coming on tonight?
No, the conversation that we're
Oh,
going to have.
yeah. I was so excited because, yes, I caught up on the last two episodes,
Uh-huh.
and I would have been so upset if I had to wait a week in between those episodes. That's why I like to kind of save them up sometimes.
Yes. I mean, last night was quite the circus. It was a
Yeah.
chaos. People
Yeah.
were just. Let's start from the beginning
Okay.
because even from the get go, it was just nuts.
Yeah.
What do you think about the new girls? Angie, Kay, Dana, and obviously Angie H. Which I mean, she's not new, but
Yeah.
she's officially a friend of.
Yeah. Angie. Okay, I always mix up the two Angies.
Angie
Angie,
K is the friend of Jen Shah and Lisa Barlow.
the new one.
And
Okay,
Angie
so
H, it's the husband of a troll, and he's friend with Meredith, and especially um, Heather.
yeah. Okay, so Angie H,
Yeah,
her outfit. I almost took a picture of it to post, but I was gonna say that she looks like in her outfit with Whitney. She looks like someone who doesn't know who Stevie Nicks is, but she tried to dress up like her for Halloween. But someone described it to her, but like she's never seen it, but she was using someone's like verbal description of Stevie Nicks and she just missed the mark. And
I
she's the
mean,
worst.
she is like a dollar store Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks.
I mean, not
Worse
even
than
a dollar, maybe like 50 cents.
right. Like that's being very generous.
Yeah, it's on sale and clearance at the dollar store.
Yeah, she's the worst. And then honestly, I hesitate to even talk about New Housewives because I'm notoriously bad at picking housewives before. I usually am on the opposite end of everyone, like season one, because like Heather Gay, I loved her season one, and I didn't like Lisa Barlow, and now that's completely switched, which I feel like we can talk about because what the fuck? Heather triggers me.
Yeah,
She
me too.
triggers me. And the religion thing, like I'm totally open to people talking about religion and whatever their beliefs are, but like my religious trauma may be too strong to watch Heather start a choir.
I mean, I think the biggest issue that I have with Heather is that her storyline for the past three seasons has been the same.
Yeah.
Being a bad Mormon. And now we have a book named Bad Mormon from her too. So
Yeah.
like, is that your only personality trait? Like, do you have anything else to give to the world besides
Let me
being
tell
a
you,
bad Mormon?
I think this is okay. This is what I think it is, and this could just be me projecting, but this is me like psychoanalyzing Bravo because it's my favorite pastime. I see my life as a movie anyway, and it helps me because I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, if I get hung up on a guy that's like toxic for me, I always say like, what would Twitter think about my life right now? Are they telling me to move it on? Like, we're done with, you know what I mean? Like, it's been 3 seasons of this shit. We're tired of it. You need to move on. That's what Heather needs to do is like, the viewers are saying, I understand. We get it. You're a bad Mormon. Either act like Lisa Barlow and rebrand yourself as like Mormon 2.0 or completely go, you know what I mean? Because she's straddling the fence, and that's what drives me crazy. And that's why everyone's frustrated because in the beginning it was her being like, this is a really hard decision. I don't know what to do. But now it's like, bitch, you need to decide one way or another. Because right now you're only half committing to both of them. So she's not being the bad Mormon. She can't write the book. You know what I mean? Like, and she won't commit. And I get it too. Like, this is coming from someone sharing your story on TV and doing, even because we're on like social media platforms, you know what I mean? But like sharing everything about, especially your family, is really difficult. And like being willing to open up about that.
I
But
agree.
if you've decided to do it, you're making it worse for yourself because you won't just like commit to it, you know, like just be the bad Mormon. We're all here for it. Everyone's gonna support you, babe. But like the in and out, the back and forth, the like hypocrisy toward Whitney, and you know, like gaslighting her, all that shit. Like it's too much. It's too much.
I mean, before we get to the part of the gaslighting, because that was towards the end of the episode.
Yes. Sorry,
I want to talk about NGK.
Yeah.
Telling NGH to back off from Lisa Barlow.
Yes.
I love that part.
Yeah.
Because literally that was the first scene that we have of her, and she's activated from the beginning. And I love an activated friend of.
Okay, see that? All right. So this is where I'm not sure how I feel, because I feel like it's a like different, each situation is different, you know, because if you're not careful with people like that, you end up getting Faye Resnick's. You know what I'm saying?
Like Faye.
No. Okay. All right. But this is the other side of it.
I mean, I'm not saying that I like her like she's one of my faves.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like
you like what she brings to the table.
Her time on the show,
yeah,
especially the first few seasons on Beverly Hills,
yeah,
was given. Like
she's iconic. I'll give her that.
I'm still wondering why she never got the official friend of like title. I mean, she is by you know definition.
Yeah.
But at that point, we weren't talking about friend of. We were just talking about a guest. You know. Yeah. So the friend of role kind of got more like cemented seasons later. You know.
Yeah.
So to me, Faye was the perfect definition of a friend of.
I get that.
She's friends with Kyle and all these girls, and she was involved in the mess. Not just involved, she had opinions.
Active, yes.
She was not afraid to give her opinions, you know? Because a lot of friends of are just there to like nod their head to their friends.
Yeah.
She was not that person. She was the girl who told Brandy.
You like an active friend of.
Classy, even with all the borrowed Chanel bags. So
Yes.
But when it comes down to NGK, what I like about her in this first scene that we saw her, we actually got, you know, we met her in that scene, is because I did not know her position about the Jen Shah and Lisa Barlow situation with the troll count, you know, and I appreciate the fact that she wasn't dancing around the bushes with the conversation. She was straight to the point. I don't like you. I don't like your husband. Back off.
Right.
Because you are hurting my friends.
Right. And so that's the other side of it, right? So that's the other side that I do get, because there are friends. I guess it just all depends on how close the friend is actually to the housewife. You know what I'm saying? Because there are, like, I've got a best friend that is my fucking ride or die, and I don't care if there's cameras there or not, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get in somebody's face over it. So, like, it would seem as though I was coming in hot if maybe that was my first appearance on the show. But you don't know that I've been listening to my friend, you know, cry and be upset about this and whatever. So now it's like, this may seem like it came out of nowhere to you, but I've been sitting on this. I've been waiting to see you. You know what I'm saying? So like, I get that. So if they are really close and she was coming out of the gate being a really good friend, I like that. But it does kind of teeter the line for me to where it seems like
can be like he's
they're trying to get a scene. Yeah, like a little try hard.
The fact that I was like laughing real hard when Jen Shah told her to shut up. When she was literally trying to help her in the conversation. She's like, you might be screaming to the wrong Angie at this moment. She's
right, but then you know what?
To help you.
But you could tell that she did. As soon as she put her in her place, Angie was like, okay. And then she told other Angie to shut the fuck up, Angie H to shut the fuck up. And she was like, yo, I took the note, you need to, you know.
I know.
And then the other girl, I feel like we didn't see a lot of her.
I mean, we haven't actually seen anything about the other girl besides like the fact that she was the one who hosted Coach Shah's birthday that we saw on the first or second episode. I don't remember right now. But she was the one who hosted that party, and it's supposed to be the girl who's gonna go against Jen Shao down the road. Like she's the one who we saw on the trailer saying like, "Oh, I'm not gonna invest money on your book or something like that on your
Yeah.
business." Like I don't remember the words, but that's the girl.
Yeah.
So she's gonna get messy. Maybe not now, but if we saw the trailer, they're going to start getting into the mess
Yeah.
because they're screaming. But I don't want to get ahead because we still
Okay.
have a lot to talk about. Um, that tragic, tragic American Idol wannabe contest was tragic.
Tragic.
It was like 5 people waiting
You
in
know what my
line.
favorite part of the whole thing was? When Meredith walks in and she's like, "I'm not singing, I'm a judge." And Heather's like, "Actually, you're the assistant."
Assistant, go outside and bring the people inside. No, like
You're the
literally
usher.
the people waiting in the line are Heather friends and Whitney's friend and the
Lisa
housewives.
right.
Like, what is happening here?
Yes.
Honestly, I appreciate the sentiment of like trying to like have like a moment of like
Right.
outside the drama or whatever. But I mean,
Yeah, but Heather's already not bringing anything to the table. And then for her to walk outside and have, okay, all right. Regardless of who's in the right or whatever, with any other situation, if I walked outside and one of my best friends, even if it wasn't one of my best friends, but this was one of her best friends, was like, this girl's grown ass husband made a fake Instagram, like, are you fucking kidding me?
And she was defending that person.
Yes!
Like what the hell?
Always been nice to me. Bitch, you have got me fucked up if you think that I would be done. We would not be friends anymore.
I'm still surprised that like towards the end of the season or whatever they were filming, Heather and Jen Shah were in really good terms. Because if anyone does that to me, I will be looking at you side eye.
Yeah.
Because it seems like opportunistic, like somebody who's taking like advantage of somebody. I feel like when it comes down to the Heather and the NGH situation, to me it's more like a convenience friendship because Heather needs backup for her constant hatred towards Lisa Barlow. And because Whitney is not playing that game anymore and she's not controlling her anymore, because I do feel like Heather had a lot to do when it came down to Whitney dislike of Lisa, because now that she's not close to Heather, we see a friendship blossoming.
Yeah,
and it seems to be a very honest, caring, and like real friendship. I'm not saying that they're best friends or anything like that, but they are forming a friendship.
Right. Well, and I think also Lisa Barlow is more, I mean, she's more likable for me this season, but I feel like maybe Whitney's in the same group of like, because she's kind of said it in this episode, is like sometimes it takes a second to adjust to her personality. Like it takes, you know what I mean? Because she does say things that come across, and then once you get to know her, you're like, oh, that's just how she comes across. She doesn't mean it that way, like, and you come to, I think, like her being a mom, and you see her be a really good mom is cute. Like you can only push that away for so long before you're like, okay, I like her, like, so I think she's more enjoyable for everyone, and Whitney too, like, especially the Heather thing. But now Whitney's like, and I think that's why she's kind of moving away from Heather, is because she realized, like, yeah, you said she was a terrible person. She's actually not. You're kind of the one who's being a bitch. So, like, you know what I mean? The family loyalty thing is just,
and
I think it only goes so far.
It's crazy how Heather took NGA's side so quickly when she knows how Jen Shao was feeling about it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if she apologized. She is denying it in front of everybody, that even she knew when in the previous episode she was sitting and kicking with her husband, with Meredith and Seth.
Yeah.
And they both were like, okay, what should we say? Because this bitch just told us that they have a fake account to troll them,
Yes.
So now fast forward to last night episode, she's denying it. Like, girl, get your stuff straight because there's camera and we are getting all the deeds.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that whole thing is crazy. And also backtracking to Meredith and Seth. Okay, I want to know your feelings about Meredith this season in general.
I mean, when it comes down to Meredith, the only thing that I appreciate about her is her relationship with her son. I always said that. I've never been a Meredith fan or anything like that. Not even from the beginning of the franchise, like season 1, 2, and 3. I still feel the same way. Mm-hmm. I'm not convinced of Meredith as a housewife.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced at why she is trying so hard to hold on to this hatred towards Lisa Barlow after all the apologies that she has done and all this stuff. And some people might say it's for the cameras, but this is a show.
Right.
The hot mic happened on camera.
Right.
So she apologized to her on the reunion.
Yeah.
She apologized to her many times, and it seems to be a situation where, even after the reunion, she continues apologizing.
Yeah.
And then now they're filming. So obviously, as a storyline, they have to apologize on camera. So I do not understand this need to hold on to this hatred and to this dislike towards somebody who was supposed to be her friend. Yeah, the hot mic was a really questionable moment for Barlow, and I get that part.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she apologized 20 times already. And she's trying to move on. So,
and that's what I was gonna say too, because two things. One, they're being complete hypocrites because they're saying in the scene, and I'll get back to that, but with the elf on a shelf sitting in the restaurant, he's like, I'm gonna own it. And they're like, well, yeah, you owned it. First of all, that's not what own it means.
Oh, okay? Not at all.
Just because you admit to doing it doesn't mean you own it. Owning it means that from now until the last person forgets it, if someone comes up to you and says something about it, you have to be like, yeah, I did it. Like, you know what I mean? That's what own it means. Owning the repercussion of your action.
That's right.
But you're not doing that. And also, if that is the case, Lisa Barlow has owned what she did 700 times now. I'm sick of talking about it. This is another, let's move the storyline along, and Meredith is, this season especially, it's just nasty behavior because I think you can tell that she's got this vendetta against Lisa Barlow. And I'm not even saying that in a light way. She's truly, for her to hang on to it, and she's upset. I get it. It's about, her dad dying and all that stuff, being together. I get that she is upset about it. And it's probably easier to hold on to anger, but she is going to let it consume her. And she's doing it on camera, which makes it way worse. Cause I know once she moves out of this, she's going to be like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? You got to pull it back before you get too far into it, that there's no coming back from it. But to see, the second part was to see that man, a full grown man. And I think that was in the last week's episode, but I didn't get to talk about it because I just.
Nobody's connected to this episode, so.
Okay, yeah. So him sitting and he was like, yeah, I did it. I'll admit it. Cringe. I was taken aback.
Honestly, the worst and lowest behavior I ever seen in a house husband. And we have seen a lot of house husbands do some shitty shit. We have the Joe Gorgas of the world in housewife world. So for somebody to come into the game and make Joe Gorga look like a good person, that is an achievement. And not a big one.
He should be, Gorga should be thanking him.
Yes,
he did.
Thanking some flowers.
Yeah.
Because
God,
who creates a troll account to troll women? What grown-ass man in her 50s creates a fake account? If you are going to say something and you have an opinion about somebody, have the balls to post it with your face on it.
Yeah.
It's your opinion. So put your face to the words.
When Lisa said I only have one account and it's got my name on it, I was like, yes,
that's right.
Yes.
People,
she's got my respect.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna come for me because I seen it on my comments saying, why an almost 40-year-old man watches Bravo and trolls and whatever? I'm not trolling. I'm giving my opinion. You know.
Right.
And let's not forget that when Bravo started, I was in my late teens. Like I was like
Yeah.
20 something. So I was in the age of watching Bravo, and I
Right.
grew up with Bravo. So for people to come from my age, sit down. But at least I put my face to my opinion. But then
Right.
you have this grown ass man in his 50s creating an account under Jen Shah's last name to troll Lisa
Yeah,
Barlow.
and it's
Makes
not.
no sense.
There's a difference between, because I don't think you troll. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between saying your opinion. That's half the fun of Bravo, is that the Bravo content creators. We've talked about that before. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, like to troll, this is the same thing, because I know they don't seem related. I know it seems like I'm taking one little thing and making it a big thing, but Beverly Hills happened. You know what I mean? Like, people are getting death threats and shit, and it happens anyway. People, famous people talking about they get death threats for the most random stuff. But this man, like, if you okay that, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's the window. It seems like they're not related, but that's where it ends up. It ends up with 14-year-old kids. Like, it's a problem.
And I do not care for this person, this guy, Chris H, to come on my TV and look like an idiot and promoting trolling behavior.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
It's promoting that behavior. It's giving an okay.
okay,
Yeah.
exactly. So I do not get why Bravo keeps giving platform to brainless people. Like,
Right.
not even for fun TV. This is not fun.
Right.
This is not entertaining. Honestly, I would have rather have a season without them on the show. And NGH has tried 3 times to be a snowflake holder. Honey, you still not won.
Right.
Not
That's
even
what I'm
with the
saying.
not even with the trolling. You can't even get a snowflake. Please.
That's what I
Please.
think that's what I'm saying too, is Bravo's giving it the okay of, like, now you're giving this woman a platform, not just the fact that they're gross, but now that shows everyone that if you do that kind of stuff, you get on the show, you're rewarding bad behavior. So take this bit, like, get her off the screen, take her and her grimy ass husband. Like, you remember, oh my God, what was his name? He was on Below Deck. Pete, I want to say was his name. And he was creepy as fuck. And everyone found weird stuff on his Twitter or one of his social medias. And they edited him out of the rest of the season.
That's right.
You remember when that was a thing? Like, y'all, why are we still doing this? It's not fun. Everyone who's watching Bravo is like, hey, this isn't fun anymore. We don't like,
I mean, and at this point, I'm gonna say this. I was not a fan of Jen Shah because of her crimes. I appreciate her as a housewife. I think she is great. She had the personality and she has everything that a good housewife should have. Enough drama, enough fun, a great personality, shady, knows how to read somebody. So I like that. So I kind of stopped liking her over the crimes. But when I met her during BravoCon, I can tell you she truly does. I mean, she's
hate
tired.
the sinner, not this, or hate the sin, not the sinner.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I understand her now as a person, and I see how she knows what she's done, and she knows that she has a long path of recovery and going to jail and all this stuff. Maybe, who knows, because we still have to wait for a court to decide that part.
Right.
But for this person to have like a troll account and add another layer of like stress, so it's not fun anymore. Like, I would prefer them to question Jen Shah over the crime than having somebody trolling her that has nothing to do with what's really truly happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on top of that, we have Angie H sitting right across from Jen Shah, denying all this information when it was already confirmed in the previous episode, and it was confirmed to Jen Shah too as well. Yeah. And then on top of that, we have this NGH part of hating Lisa Barlow because I don't even know why.
Yeah, I don't even know where that started.
Like, I'm trying to figure it out. And back to Heather, like, I appreciate you having your choir and your spiritual journey, but I'm tired of the Mormon thing. I'm tired. Like
Yeah.
let's find something new. Let's
Right.
focus on Beauty Lab or something like that. I want to know
I
what's
don't even care
happening
about
there.
that. I'm so
Is this
over
just
her.
happening? Is this still a real thing,
Yeah.
or what's happening there? Like, I want to know about that.
Yeah.
And then we have, what we're gonna talk about this next, because that's a big part of the equation. The friendship with Whitney and Heather falling apart on our screens. It's interesting,
Yeah.
but the way that Heather is handling, personally, I do not like it.
No.
He is gaslighting at its best.
Yes. Yeah. The whole, okay. And this is because this is the thing too. Whitney, her spiritual journey. Let me tell, and all right, let me backtrack for a second and give you a little bit. Like, I had someone in my life who went through something similar to Whitney, in that she went to therapy, found out she had like CT, oh my God, complex PTSD.
Yes.
And then she was like, they're drudging up all these feelings and it's fresh. So she was kind of an emotional wreck, And there are times when you're going through that, it is so intense. And the same stuff that like Dorit was doing on camera, that stuff's intense. Like, all that therapy brings up a lot of stuff. And your therapist will warn you, like, just so you know, a lot of the stuff's gonna be fresh on your mind. Like, you need to be careful. Her going on a reality show while she is finding this traumatic stuff out, probably not the best idea. So I think she, like with her and the Justin thing, she kind of takes that. And I think for the first time, maybe she realized that she was a victim, and it does feel good to like be vindicated in your victimhood, but you can also very easily kind of sit in there and stay, And I don't want her to do that, because then Heather's going to be able to use it and be like, well, you're a victim. Everyone's going to be like, she was kind of a victim, like, be a victim when you are a victim. But then when she's sitting there talking about her husband, she's like, your boss hates that I'm a successful woman. Like, he hates women. No, that's not what happened. And you know that it's not, you know what I mean? Let's be honest about it, because that's not what happened. But with Heather, I mean, Heather was gaslighting her, like,
Oh, yeah.
and it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And she was turning it around. Heather triggers me a lot anyway. But when she was like, oh, I guess I'm just the bad guy now. Like, Whitney's not quick enough to keep up sometimes.
Keep up.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So it's hard to watch.
Yeah. I truly enjoy Whitney's friendship with Barlow way more than Whitney's friendship with Heather.
Yes.
I have seen, like, even last night episode, we saw that scene with Lisa Barlow, Whitney and their kids playing basketball, which I think it was edited in such a funny ass way. It was like, oh, great shot, great this, great that.
And then it shows her with was it Henry, her son? She's like, Henry, don't go far, okay, because I love you.
No, the editing is just
my kid.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing, and I appreciate it. It kind of reminded me of the so chic moment, because it was like the same words over and over again, but it was in a really funny tone.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that scene because they both opened to each other, and they were being vulnerable, and nobody was judging anyone. They were just being open. And I had seen scenes of Heather and Whitney's friendship in the past, and it didn't feel as real as that. Like, obviously Heather and Whitney have a longer friendship, it looks like. Also, they're like somehow cousins or whatever, so there is different connection between them.
But still, that's the thing, is like, a lot of times families think that they can act that way because they're family, you know what I mean? And I think that's why Whitney is struggling, because like you said, it's fun to watch her and Lisa hang out. There's no judgment. It's nice to watch. And now Heather, I can't remember the exact words that she used, but something she said to Whitney, I was like, she's turning all of this stuff around on Whitney and making her feel guilty, and kind of making it to where like she can't leave either. Because now when Whitney tries to set boundaries, Heather's like, wow, like.
And the funniest part is that Heather is making herself the victim because Whitney was supporting her event.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Right.
Because if I'm going to your event, means
She's
that
one
I'm
of the 5
supporting
people.
you.
Yeah.
So I don't get where you are the bad guy and I'm the like you're the victim and I'm the bad guy, and how this
Right.
is playing in any form as a way to fix a friendship, because that's the last scene of the episode. And I wanted to get to that part because I think this is like kind of like the moment where we see the friendship truly fall apart. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that Whitney went to Heather's home, to talk and to let her know how she was feeling, and that she was there to support her choir, which, by the way, to me, it still doesn't make any sense. Like
Right.
this business, like what is it? Like is the most random business in housewife history, a choir.
Right.
And we had a lot of random businesses, especially in New York City, with like
Right.
Sonia and all those like random items. So
Yes.
it is random. It's pretty
Yes.
random. So the fact that she went to her home to tell her, "I support you.
Yeah.
We are not in good terms right now. We have a little like a bump in the ride, and
Yeah.
we are going through different issues. But I'm here for you,
Yeah.
and I
And
want
she
to help you."
started it by saying, I'm not here to fight with you.
Yes. So like honestly, like I don't know how that went from that to Heather saying, "Oh, so you're the hero, and I'm the asshole." I'm like, that has
Because she was
nothing.
because she was triggered. Because when Whitney said,
Talking about Lisa Barlow.
well, I think the first, I can't remember the order, but I think the first thing that she said that I noticed her being triggered by was when she said, I was asking myself on the way over here, like, why am I chasing her down? And Heather was like, and you could tell she was upset because it's true.
True.
And she's like, so that's true. And now she's like, oh, and she's on the defense. So now immediately, once that happens, like you deflect. I mean, it's basic like psychology that, you know what I mean? She's going in the steps of basically like a narcissist, who's going through and turning it around. So now Whitney's the bad guy, despite the fact that when she sat down, she's like, hey, I don't want to argue. I am only doing this because I care about you. Like, I want to talk to you about this. I want to clear the air. We can have hard conversations. She said all the things. But then as soon as she said something that Heather didn't like, Heather snapped and she turned it around, and it doesn't make any logical sense. And we know that, but that's what like narcissists depend on, is for them to talk really fast in circles so that by the end of it, you're confused. And by the way, let me just say this. This is now the second time that I have seen Heather Gay put her hands on Whitney.
Yes, I was literally gonna say that.
Bitch.
Second time.
And it's like,
we're not talking about that enough. I haven't seen people say that enough.
any
It's
of
the
them.
second time that she pushed Whitney physically. She put
Yeah.
her hands on and she pushed her. It's
Right.
the second time that I've seen it
Right.
happen.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing that I think the like family gets away. It's like, we're cousins. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? But it's a whole thing. Just as a rule of thumb, don't put your fucking hands on anybody.
And let's be clear, this situation with Heather pushing Whitney twice on this show makes me question people's reaction to Housewives. Because if it was in a different city, we will be floating
having
the
a different
timeline.
conversation. Yes.
But
yes.
I saw that and I was like, huh.
Interesting.
This is the second time that this person puts her hands on Whitney.
Yeah. And
I'm
honestly,
not liking it.
I'm not. Someone said I would have knocked the door down the way she shoved her. Same. Like, and Whitney just goes, but and it's especially fucked up because, like, bro, Whitney, I'm not trying to be mean, but there's a size difference. Heather is built like a fucking linebacker. She could demolish Whitney if she wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, Whitney doesn't stand a chance in a fist fight. So when Whitney gets upset, she moves her out of the way, and you watch Whitney turn around and walk down the hall knowing that you just found out like 30 seconds ago she was abused as a child, and she's just like getting manhandled by this woman. Like,
it was insane.
What? That's hard to watch. And like you said, no one saying anything about it. No one like, did I just see that?
Yeah, that was my reaction. Like, what just happened? Because it went from them talking about their friendship and trying to build it back up to Heather pushing Whitney out of her house in a very aggressive way.
Right. Like she moved her,
Literally.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And
No.
also someone asked, or it was way earlier, but they said, what are your opinions on Miss Barlow clearing her name by using Heather's dad's obituary? Do you want to talk about that?
I have
Opinions?
I have opinions. I love Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
I think she's great. She is amazing. As a
Mhm.
person, in person, she's lovely.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of her from season one, and
Yeah.
you know that we interact a lot on social media, so
Yeah.
it's not like I don't want to be biased, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not like the whole obituary situation, especially because my dad passed away. So I would hate
Yeah.
somebody to use anything related to my dad passing as a receipt or a form of like, okay, this is why it happened.
Right.
So I try to I don't know. I have feelings. I did not like it, and I mean, Heather had all the, they had all the rights. I mean, is it Meredith? I forgot the one who was saying something about it in the episode. Somebody mentioned it once again.
Maybe Meredith.
But I just don't like the context behind using.
I get that. But can I also say this?
Yeah.
Heather, I felt like, because while what Lisa did was wrong, obviously, I don't think it was done with bad intentions.
Yes.
And Heather turning it around and saying, I cannot believe that you would do this, to clear your name, to clear all this stuff. What Heather said about Lisa Barlow at the reunion was not a light accusation. So, like, Lisa Barlow going out, this is why I think she's autistic, because, like, the more I study it and the more I realize, because I'm on the spectrum, I don't know if anyone else knows that, but the more I study it, it's like if that was the case, if she was autistic, like, for me, in my head, I've done things like that where it's like, you said it's the dates, like, it's the date, you check the dates, you know what I mean? I don't think she wasn't like sharing it in a vindictive way. She was just taking the 2 dates. And was it fucked up? Like, insensitive? Yes. But was she doing it to be mean? No. But then when Heather turns it around and said that to her, she's like, I don't even want to talk about it. Oh my God, I wish I would have taken notes on all of this stuff because I was just so worked up about it earlier. And she was saying that she is using it to win a fight, basically. And I'm like, that's exactly what you're doing now, though. And you dropped the bomb that she called you after her dad. Like, that was a big thing you were talking about, that her dad was dead. And she's like, she doesn't care enough. He was already dead. And she was texting me about it. And then she's like, well, maybe he wasn't dead, but like, okay, well then you need to be clearing her name. You should have cleared that up,
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe it's just because I'm mad about someone. To Heather's all about receipts till someone else has them. That's how it felt. Like, you wanted until I had them and it was true.
And if you think about it, like you just mentioned something really important. I mean, Heather is good having arguments with, especially Lisa Barlow, when somebody's on her side doing the dirty work. Because in the past, she had Whitney doing it.
Yeah,
and that's the reality. I mean, like I said it before, that desire of having Angie H as a friend so badly that she even took her side over Jen Shao on that argument is because she needs somebody to do the dirty work.
And Angie is the perfect. She's better than Whitney. You know?
And Angie is thirsty for a snowflake. She wants it so badly that she will do anything to have one. And honey, you still have none.
Right.
And Heather is using her for that reason.
Yeah. Oh because my God, wait, there's a part I just remembered.
If Whitney was still her friend, we probably would not have Angie H on this season whatsoever.
Right. If she didn't need to pull her out.
That's right.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, there was one part where Heather said something, and I don't remember, it was something about like Whitney, but she was like, I don't understand, like what I usually do isn't working anymore. And I'm like, yeah, because now people see, like, you've been able to be two-faced in the past with everyone, but now you're on camera, so you can't. And it's really difficult, isn't it? When all of your like lies catch up with you and you can't pin people against each other because you have to account for your actions on live TV weekly.
Right.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Salt Lake City is insane. I always tell people, if you are not watching Salt Lake City, know the definition of Salt Lake City is a fever dream.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
much going on.
Yes.
Everything is insane.
Yeah.
There is a housewife possibly going to jail for, for like stealing money from the elderly, and then we
Yeah.
have accusations of blowjob for tickets for a jazz ticket.
Yes.
And like, it's such a fever dream,
Yes. Yes.
and that's why I really like it.
And then when I think it was Angie H that said, I didn't say that she blows people for
tickets.
I said that she blows them because she wants Vita in their restaurant, basically. Like, okay. So she's doing it for her job.
I honestly, I can't stand
It's too much.
that person.
Yeah, Angie's the worst. And whoever the girl going against Jen saw, which is it, Dana? Is that what you said?
Dana, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not here. I'm not here for her either.
I haven't met her yet. I haven't seen her.
I bet she sucks. I'm making an early judgment call. She sucks.
I knew that Angie K was going to bring it.
Yeah.
Enough. I think she's ready. I like her. I like her spunk. She has a very interesting social media interaction. Like, she's out there. She's feisty. She wants it.
Yeah.
She doesn't look as thirsty as Angie H.
It's kind of close though.
And she's Greek though, and Greeks. I love me some Greeks.
Maybe she's just like another Barlow, where I'll like figure out her personality, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, she's cool. Because I mean, notoriously, I think almost every housewife that I pick, and I end up liking the opposite later.
Angie K gives me old school housewife vibes.
I love that, like old OC.
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
Like season 1,
like Tamra?
Season 1, New Jersey. Season 1, like, it gave me that vibe of housewife that they knew that they were on TV, but they didn't know how to like be on TV.
Yeah.
Like they knew that they were filming for a show, but it was so fresh for them.
Yeah.
That they would say what it was needed to be said.
Yeah.
They acted the way they needed to be acted because it was not rehearsed.
Yes. You know what? I think the best is a chaotic, neutral housewife. Just chaotic. Like, the best examples, and I'm sure, again, I might be remembering, I'm sure they've had problematic moments, but like the best examples I can think of are like a Camille or like a Tamra, like they're kind of unpredictable, but like you can they kind of just stay in the middle,
Yeah, and they're chaotic.
Yeah.
And they love being that way. And I love it. They are chaotic without being
problematic. Yeah.
Because there is a difference between being good TV villain or being messy.
Yeah.
For the sake of being messy and fun, and we like our housewife messy, but there's a difference between being a mess and being messy than being an evil, vindictive person.
Yes.
That will go any length to destroy somebody's life.
Yeah.
Even outside the show.
Yeah.
Because we forget that part too, that when the cameras are put down, they still have their own lives,
Yeah.
outside the show. And some of those cast members forget that some of the stuff that they make up or they pull are going to affect these people outside the show. And that's why I have major issues with a particular housewife that I don't want to talk about right now because it's irrelevant.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. And that's the thing too, like, Jax actually, it's blocked by Jax. She was on Instagram and maybe it's like an Instagram live or something, but I saw she did like an interview with Jax and she was talking to him about the terrible moments that he had. And he was like, I was doing what I knew I needed to do to stay on the show. And he was like, no one told me to do it, but I just thought like, what gives me the best chances of coming back on the show? And I think people often forget. And honestly, let me tell you what, when I was going on like TikTok and doing all these things, like I said, with Heather, you need to commit one way or another. And because like if I'm going to, there comes a point where you're riding the line and it's in boring territory. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like what Heather was saying when she was like, I wrote the book and then I kind of watered it down and then it seemed like I was being fake. That's what I struggled with. Like at the beginning of putting out my podcast, I was saying things, but I was kind of dancing around it because I didn't want to hurt anyone. And I was like, at the end of the day, I don't want a future employer to find this, and then be like, is this you? So then there was that moment where I was like, you know what? I'm committing to, like, I'm not going to have a normal 9 to 5. It doesn't matter. I've got to throw myself into it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do what you got to do. And it's okay. And you kind of have to step a little bit, like kind of toe over the line just a little bit and don't go too far, like you said. But, it's like, yeah, you might be unhireable for another job, but now you're reality TV gold. So I think a lot of them try to get to that point and they're like, if I will just go crazy enough, then who cares what happens in my real life? But then the cameras stop, especially if they get, like Jax get canceled off the show. And now it's like, well, now what? Now what do you have to do? Because now you've done like, you fucked over both sides of it, So you do have to be careful. But also, if you're going to commit, I say fucking
just do it.
Commit. Like, be a bad Mormon, Heather. I'm here for bad Mormon, Heather. Like, if she just embraces it, but she thinks, being in interracial couples is enough for her to like, it's like scandal every time she talks about it on the show. She's like, because I like black men. Like,
okay. I know. I mean, like I said, like Heather. I mean, Heather is one of those people that I still do not get why Bravo liked them so much. Because they've been trying to make Heather happen every single season.
Yes.
And it's not landing.
No. And if Rihanna wouldn't have followed her, none of this would even be an issue.
That's right.
But she put her stamp of approval. So now we all just kind of for a minute was like, okay, well, Rihanna said so. It's fine. But no, I don't stand behind Heather. I can't.
Well, so we got to the end of the episode now.
Yes.
We are going to get messy next week. Yes. Are you excited for what's coming?
Yes. I cannot get enough. And I need to go back now because I like to do it about halfway through a season. I like to go back and watch the trailer because you notice more stuff, and you can kind of tune into like what hasn't happened and what has happened. So I might have to go back and rewatch the trailer.
And for what I think, and I read in my boots on the ground information I got for Salt Lake City, and that it's not a long season.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Beverly Hills 23 episodes, thank God.
So right, like Jesus.
We might be getting a mid-season trailer soon. So yeah.
Yes. I'm here for it.
That's spilling the tea while people say, well, we're spilling the tea. Yes. This is not a long season. The mid-season trailer is coming very soon. So
perfect. Well, I'm excited. I'm into this season. I'm with it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm very into it, and I'm kind of into the fact that it's not a big cast, and hopefully they remove NGH for next season. I don't think she brings anything to the table. And
they're done with Angie.
I really wish. I mean, I know people are gonna say that I'm crazy, but I want Mary back.
I get that. She was chaotic. You like a chaotic woman.
She's chaotic and she's funny and she knows how to read people.
Yeah.
And she was really like, disconnected but connected at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like she wasn't really in it, but she was in.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I appreciated that. And
I mean, she's definitely a cult leader.
There's some Mary Cosmic missing in this show. for sure.
Yeah. I get
But
that. I
beside
get
that, beside that, I mean, we have a great cast. They are not as I will not say it's not like the best cast overall because we have
Yeah.
Potomac. That is a cast. Um,
Yes.
but at least they are clocked in, and that's
Yes.
important. They are putting their weight. Uh,
Yes.
we might not agree with Heather, and we might not like her, but she has her ways in the show, and I guess some people like her. Like
Someone.
like
Someone is liking her.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. She seems to be one of those people that are fun at parties, and I like that. I mean, she seems to be like a good time, girl. Like,
Good
and
job,
how
Heather. Good job, girl.
so I'm fine with that. But if you ask me, I mean, Lisa is putting her weight.
Lisa's doing a
Everybody,
great job.
everybody's doing their job, and I'm here for Salt Lake City. So we
Yeah.
will definitely have to recap next episode.
Yes. Yes, I'm ready to talk more shit anytime.
So, anything you want to plug right now, Dahlia, before we go?
Yeah, my Instagram and TikTok is at Bravo Bitch Fest. You can also follow my second TikTok at the Dahlia Bradshaw. And then Twitter is at _ Bravo Bitch Fest. I'm still bitter about it. I'm still upset. I thought it was all the same, but it's fine. I'm gonna let it go.
Well, thank you for coming
Of
on
course.
MarTEAnis Hour to chitty chat a little bit about
Yes.
Salt Lake City. And before you go, I want to make sure that you guys subscribe to both of our social medias because we're gonna be doing more recaps together. And obviously, we have really fun content on our own social media.
Yes.
So, Dahlia, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Of course. Always a pleasure. I love you so much.
Love you too, honey. So, we'll be talking.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, so that was the end of the episode tonight. And don't forget, it's very important. Please go subscribe on my YouTube channel. Go follow my Twitter at MarTEAnis with Eddie. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm working on my podcast. I'm working on my website, and I'll have all the information coming on those social media platforms. So have a great night. Bye, besties.